Okay, what is up, people? Welcome back to another stream. Hope everyone is doing well. As always, guys, if you are enjoying the content, please be sure to drop a like, subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already, and of course, make sure you do go and hit the bell so you don't miss out on any streams or uploads in the future, because of course you will be notified. And of course, guys, make sure you go check out Elevating Traders Discord channel, completely free to join. Link at the top of the chat, you cannot miss it. This kind of opportunities will be there when we do launch. So if you don't want to miss out on that, make sure you go check out the Discord. And of course, you can join the discussion, share trading opportunities as well. I share opportunities I'm looking at and chat with other traders as well. So if you are interested, make sure you go check it out. But guys, welcome back to the stream this Friday morning. What's up? Khan, welcome to the stream. Good morning. Holy One, as always, welcome. Tom, as always, hope you are doing good. So yeah, guys, welcome back to another stream. So I have been taking out my Aussie CHF trade for a break even. Price was pretty bullish this morning, and it came out and finally, well, I wouldn't say it's broken out the range confidently, but it looks like we are breaking to the upside. But I had my entry here, and that's exactly where I had my trail stop loss at break even. And I was looking basically for the break to the downside. Never happened. And price did break to the upside there, taking me out for a BE. So, yeah, again, with the management, I'm happy with how I managed it. I don't think again, with my stop loss, I'm happy with where I had it. I could have maybe trailed it a little bit more aggressively, but I gave the market enough room to breathe, to consolidate, and potentially break lower. If the market wants to push up again, maybe full push back into the high, I'll see what we can do, because maybe I'll be looking for some more re-entries, because the idea I still have is still that swing there. If the market goes and breaks through that area, then that's when I'll rest my case and probably look at a different swing or a different move, because breaking above that area there possibly entails a move back to the high around 0.6087, which then could lead me into some big buys. But I'll wait for us to go and break through that if we are going to. If we are just going to come back and reject it at a level again, I'll look for the same entry and hopefully for a similar trade there as well. But have been taken out of Aussie CHF for break even. What's up, Will? Welcome to the stream. Hope you are doing good. And yeah, pound yen is still doing pound yen things. It's just it's keeping me in the ride here. Again, not looking good. Very, very close to my stop loss this morning, actually, and it just pulled back. But yeah, I'm going to keep that trade going, let it do its thing. I'm probably going to push to my stop loss, but I'll let it do its thing. There's no point in me closing the trade early. Just let the market do its thing, because if we are going to respect those areas, we could see some downside. But realistically, the yen pairs aren't moving well as well, because I'm looking across the border at the other yen pairs to see what they're doing. And for the most part, they're pretty sideways, which is not the best sign, really, because the momentum I'm looking for, I want to be seeing some big candles and a lot of momentum, which I was kind of expecting to happen this morning with the inflation rate, but that didn't really do anything really for yen. But yeah, I'm looking across the board. New Zealand yen's flat, Euro yen's flat, pound yen's flat, CAD yen, that's gone flat as well. Dollar yen's had a bit of a move to the upside as well, bit corrective, but that one's been a little bit bullish, and then Swiss yen's been pretty flat as well. So it's been a very awkward one for the yen pairs for the past kind of couple of weeks, really. But then at the end, it's going to be awkward until we do see some movement. So it will be kind of sideways, a little bit awkward, and then suddenly the markets will be very bearish or very bullish, and then the yen pairs will be the talk of the town. Gold, okay, we'll take a look. We'll go through some USD pairs actually, because there's some movement on the USD pairs, especially from the news yesterday. Collins, okay, we'll take a look at NZD CAD as well. Holy One got into GA sell this morning, 6:30 a.m. Okay, haven't really been keeping an eye on pound Aussie, so I'm interested to see what's going on with that one. But first, we'll go through some USD pairs. We'll start with gold. So with gold is just doing gold things, isn't it? It's breaking to the upside, new highs there as well. Past, what was that, 2680? So have we hit? Yeah, we hit 2700. So with gold, as I was mentioning yesterday, If we do get a break of the high, I'm just now looking for the retest of it. And the breakout has been pretty impressive, to be fair. I thought it was going to be a bit of a sluggish breakout, but we're actually really seeing some strong momentum, and gold is just on one, really. So if we can keep this up, I'll be more than happy to look for retest on this level here, 2680, for some buys. I was looking for the retest at this area, didn't quite happen for me. And I was also looking for the retest of this area, which didn't quite happen for me as well. So I'm kind of looking for the retest of this area now. And yeah, I think third time's the charm. Should be lucky for that retest. And then, yeah, looking to continue the market high, because there is no signs that gold is slowing down per se. Maybe we've got a bigger pullback there. So it's a sign of maybe the trend is slowing down a little bit. But in terms of the trend being up, there's no sign of it about to reverse anyway. So looking to take advantage of buys if gold does pull back. And my new area of interest will be this 2680 area. It's keeping it very simple. If there's a lot of momentum in the market, you're just looking to ride that momentum and get involved. So now that we've had a pretty confident break of the high, it's pretty much sets the next trade up for me pretty easily. Just depends how high we're going to go, how far we're going to push. If we get that pullback, that's up to gold. But I'm expecting onwards and upwards. Was 2800. 2800 could be the next big psychological level. I mean, I'll mark out 2750 as well. But yeah, this one's just flying. Okay, so we'll go through some other USD pairs, and then we'll go take a look at NZD CAD and Pound Aussie, some of the crosses. Oil's taking his time again. I haven't actually been looking at what's oil been doing. Sit in my hands for this week. It happens, my man. There are some weeks, some days where you do sit in your hands, and yeah, some weeks as well you do sit in your hands, which is a good sign, really. Of course, not in terms of being active in the market, but it's a good sign that you're pretty patient and you know exactly what you're looking for, because many people would go through that kind of period of not many trades and not many setups, but they'll still end up taking one trade per day or whatever, because they still want to trade. They'll just force things out of nowhere. So if you find yourself waiting a day, 2 days, a week, it's a sign that, okay, you actually know what you're looking for and you're being patient the right way. So it's a pat yourself on the back. Of course, you don't want to be waiting a week just randomly. You want to do it with purpose. But if you're waiting for a week and you know exactly what you're looking for and just hasn't arisen yet, then it's a sign of really good patience, to be honest. So yeah, pat yourself on the back for that. But hopefully next week things can speed up with oil. In terms of the other USD pairs, we had a bit of a bounce for some of the USD pairs, Euro, Pound, Aussie a little bit as well. USD, I mean, USD is predominantly still very strong, but looks like it might be going for a bit of a pullback. It broke through that area pretty easily. So now I'm looking at this 104 area as a place where we might see a bit of a pause in the market, because dollar has been flying really strongly in the past few days, and we haven't really seen much of a pullback. I mean, we're really yet to see a bearish candle since down here, really. So it's just been consecutive higher high after higher high. Of course, some dodis in there as well, but the market is really stretched. So I do think we're going to see a bit of a pullback on USD at some point, and I do think we're going to see a push down. It's just, when is that going to come, and where is it going to come from? And where I'm looking at is 104, a really strong level. We broke through, never really had a retest of that same area. So I would expect us to get there and possibly see some selling pressure kick in from there. Maybe we do see some upside for Euro and Pound when that happens as well. But we are losing momentum, because you can see how corrective we've been. We're not seeing such big candles anymore. The market is running out a bit of steam. So I do think a move to the downside is imminent for dollar. But 104 is kind of the area which I would anticipate it from. So maybe a bit more upside for USD and a push down. So taking that information into Euro, for example, you might see a bit more downside back into this area where we did see a big push, and then we might see a push up. The only thing is, I don't expect us to go too far. We could very much put a lower high in somewhere. Ooh, don't know what happened there. Very much put a lower high in somewhere and come right down and see an even bigger move, because might just continue this range. Same thing with the dollar as well. But in terms of a bounce, because again for euro, likewise, a really big move to the downside. Market's very stretched. We're likely going to get a push at some point, but it might equate to more downside later on. But then again, this move could still be worthwhile to profit from. So yeah, that's kind of where I'm at with USD. I do think we're going to see some downside in dollars soon, just because of the market is very stretched, coming into some big areas of resistance, support for euro. So we're likely going to see a bit of a breather. But yeah, I'm no longer necessarily expecting price just to swing back to the high. I think we'll probably end up seeing a bigger move down first before we might get that big move up. Is anyone trading any USD pairs at the moment? Okay, well, yeah, we'll take a look at pound USD as well. Yeah, gold is looking very, very bullish. Well, very bullish. I wonder what silver's doing. Actually, I haven't looked at silver. What's silver doing? Okay, silver's trying its luck as well, but hasn't broke the high. But yeah, gold is looking exceptional. Gold is looking exceptional. So pullbacks on gold, like a no-brainer to me. No-brainer. What's 240, Tom? Heard on Israel, what's up? Not sure if you saw my Discord this morning. TP, my biggest trade of this year, pound CHF. Okay. Was only for 45 pips, but it's the fact I did 35 standing lots on my funded huge win. Nice. Congratulations, early one. Well done. I mean, it goes to show that you don't have to, catch 450 pips for your biggest winner. Sometimes it could be a lot smaller, but again, I mean, that's the benefit, of course, using larger accounts and trading with larger lot sizes, is that you don't need to go for the home run and go for something crazy to achieve a big trade. But of course, the losses, of course, is going to be bigger as well. So there's that. But that's the benefits of having the larger account. But congratulations. Yeah, I wasn't aware that you. I mean, I did see the Discord, but I wasn't aware that you were looking to trade pound CHF. But yeah, we did see a big push for pound. I think pound has been a bit strong. CHF has definitely been a bit weak. But definitely comparing euro and pound, pound's had a big push. So yeah, very, very nice. In terms of pound USD as well, this one's had a bit of a push. Not as much as some other pound pairs, but we are seeing some type of movement here. Now, I'm not quite sold with pound USD because, again, this is the key low, which I'm looking for price to hold to see upside. And we had a bit of a dip a couple of days ago. It looks like price is trying to recover that. But what's kind of formed is a bigger descending channel. I was originally looking at the channel like this, but since we created a new low, high, and new low, kind of expanded it. So I would like to see price really commit above this, and then that to me would be the sign that okay, pound USD is on one. We're seeing some upside, and probably can come back to some of these areas around 1.325. Maybe for lucky, back to the high up there as well. But there is some upside potential for pound. I'm not quite sold yet because we're not breaking outside that channel and very much could just roll over again, similar to what euro is doing. But if we are going to see price commit to the upside, really respect this low here as support and stay above it, then I think we've got really nice buy opportunities for pound, especially on maybe a pullback intraday. They can really refine the entry that way, and the risk reward will look a lot better. But if we do hold 1.303, I'm looking for a push into 1.325, which is basically the high here, which could end up forming a pretty big head and shoulder pattern in the long run as well. But we'll speak about that when we get there. But yeah, for pound USD, I would still be holding on to that bullish bias because we're holding on to that low. But in terms of trades and entries, I would like this channel to break here. Otherwise, if you buy now, you're kind of buying into that resistance, which could just end up in a big sell-off. So the entry might not be the best there. But breaking that does indicate some upside is likely. So that's kind of what I'll be keeping a close eye on for. Okay, so okay. 152. Okay, that's for your dollar yen position. Might just take it time, given that the DXY might be bound for a pullback. Yeah, if USD is going to be a bit weak, I mean, again, with UJ, yen is really the driving force. So if yen is going to be weak, then the yen pairs will push up. Maybe if dollar does go for a bit of a pullback, maybe dollar yen takes its time, as you said, and then it kind of grinds higher. But if yen is going to be weak, they will push up. Yen is the real governing force. With like other currencies, USD is the governing force. But if yen is weak, they're all going up. If yen is strong, they'll go down 19% of the time. Blessing, Euro USD. Okay, we'll touch on that. Holy One, that's right. All right. Okay, cool, man. Yeah, I mean, a lot of people. Well, it's not really a lot of people. There's a lot of bots, really, actually, that do that. Took the personal screenshot was personal. Okay. 535 lots. Yeah, again, that's the benefits, the old funding accounts, larger capital to trade with. But yeah, I mean, again, with trading, the funny thing is that, you know, with 45 pips, you could trade with £1 a pip, you could trade £10 a pip, you could trade £100 a pip, but the trade is still the same. The trade is still the same. The idea is still the same. The concept's still the same. So really, it's just sizing up and getting better at the same thing you're doing, because the pound CHF trades you took, I would imagine you done anything special. It was just you following the plan, waiting for a good trade to line up and striking at the right time. And then, of course, with trading with larger lots, you can reward yourself a lot more as well. So that's one of the benefits of trading, because you could take the same trade and make 10 times the amount of profit. Of course, you make 10 times the amount of loss as well. So you have to keep that in mind. But if you've got a larger account, you can definitely manage that well. If you've got a small account, then of course, watch out for that. But yeah, I'll take a look at pound CHF in a moment. But yeah, with Euro USD, as I mentioned, there could be a nice buy coming up. I'm not really interested in Euro anymore, to be honest. I was looking to buy off the high there, but since that level is broken completely, I do think we'll see some upside, but I'm expecting it to be a pullback for some more downside at a later point in time. And again, this move here could still be worthwhile because the market's had such a big drop. If I get the fib from the high to the low, you've got the 50% all the way up there. You know, potentially you could see a retest of that area before a sell as well. So there could be some real meat in the move to the upside, to be honest. Even this area here looks pretty good as well, around 0.904, 1.094, sorry. Even a push to that area looks pretty good as well for a big sell. But a buy is probably the move here for Euro, since we've had such an extended run. DXY, same thing, such an extended run to the upside. I'm looking for price to push down from this 104 area. So maybe a bit more upside for the dollar, and then we see a bit of a drop. And then, of course, Euro I'll be expecting the exact opposite or the inverse. And then maybe we see a bigger sell for one of those areas. But that's kind of where I'm at with Euro for now. Do you think we can see some buys stepping into the market? I mean, right now in the 4 hour, things look still pretty bearish. So I'd probably look for price to have another drop and start to reject it a little bit more before finding entries. Because, yeah, in my book, I haven't really seen much of a shift in price action. Everything is still really bearish. So hopefully another move down, really test that 1.08 level. Maybe some nice wicks there, probably early next week at this point, and then maybe some nice buys, take it back up again. Okay, so we'll take a look at some couple other USD pairs, and I'll go through pound, Aussie, NZD CAD as well. So yeah, with pairs like USD CAD, I still really like the buy with this one, but yeah, it's just very, very far away. So USD CAD is kind of at the back of my mind for now because we're nowhere near that level. So I don't really need to be focused on it at all, because I know if I'm looking to find a setup, it will be closer around the 1.365 area. The market's up here. I'm simply not interested. There's a big level of weekly resistance just above us, which looks like where price is slowly working its way towards. So I'm kind of looking for this move to happen. and that's the move I'm looking to take advantage of back to the high. If it just kind of keeps rising and just keeps pushing, then it's not a trade for me anyway. I need to see those pullbacks. I need to see those retests for me to find that entry. Because again, with dollar CAD situation as well, it's been another one of those markets which has run really, really well to the upside. So maybe when dollar takes its dive and takes its breather, dollar CAD can take its breather as well. And maybe, just maybe, we get that retest for a nice buy. And if I can swing it back to the high, that'd be absolutely fantastic. So dollar CAD I'll keep an eye on, but it's just nowhere near my level. So I'm not gonna focus on it too much for now. But definitely a USD pair, which I'll keep an eye on if it does give me that pullback. NZD, not really a big fan of anymore since it broke my area, so I'm not really focused on that one too much. And Aussie dollar, still like Aussie dollar, but it's just not quite testing the low yet at 0.664, 665. If we can have one more sell-off, that would be nice. I actually think it could do, to be honest, especially if USD still has a bit more in the tank. As we come back into this low, I wouldn't be surprised to see another push down there, maybe coming from Friday into Monday. Then maybe some point next week, we can speak about the buys from that area back up again, because this for me is a real important low. So I'm looking for it to hold, and it looks like a nice place to buy for me, but we're not quite at that area yet. And then, of course, gold, love gold. Just want to see that pullback and that retest. And if silver can do the same as well, break the high, I'll be looking for the buy too. So yeah, that's kind of where I'm at with the USD pairs. Currently very bullish. I do think USD will go for a bit of a pullback. I don't expect it to last forever. We might see a bit more upside before we get the big drop. But at least some type of pullback I'm anticipating in the next coming days. So buys on euro, buys on pound, buys on other USD pairs look good. Maybe not at the moment, might see a bit more downside, but next day or two, I think we could see some nice buys. Okay, so I'll go through NZD CAD because that was requested earlier. I'll take a look at GA as well. NZD CAD, where are you? So yeah, NZD CAD, I'm actually bullish on NZD CAD because it's still holding onto this low here. It's not the cleanest pair in the world, but I am still bullish following the market structure. With a lovely low down here, high over there, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high. So the market is steadily pushing up. And then again, if you look at this market structure from that low, high, we're coming back and we're holding onto that low. So for me, as long as price can hold onto that low, I'm anticipating another swing to the upside. Again, if I look at the higher time frames, I'm looking at price kind of going for a gradual reversal, potentially maybe back to resistance up here. That's kind of where I do see the market pushing towards for NZD CAD, and then maybe might get another sell because that's kind of what price does with these lower highs, maybe form another one over there. So that's kind of what I'm looking for longer term. But for now, since we're still holding onto that bullish structure and we're doing a pretty good job at it as well, I do think there is room to the upside. In terms of finding a nice buy, that's where things become a little bit awkward because I'm not seeing a nice opportunity to buy it. I wouldn't buy it now. Stop loss wouldn't be great. I wouldn't want my stop loss there either. I want it there. In terms of, yeah, because we had a pretty big rejection of that area. So that's definitely where some sellers are sitting. But in terms of a nice buy, if we were to come back and double bottom there, that would be a little bit better because I'd be a lot closer to having to stop there. Or if we start creating some bullish structure again, it might be a nice buy maybe in a few days' time there, and we can trade it back to the high. But essentially for NZD CAD, I am looking at a big swing back to 0.86 and potentially a lot further as well. But I'm just not seeing a good opportunity to place a nice buy with a nice stop loss, which looks good. So I'm waiting for more candlesticks, more price action, more information. And then hopefully in the next coming days, price will clean up and maybe give us a nice opportunity. But in terms of my bias anyway, it is to the upside. So that's what I'm looking for. Same with Aussie CAD as well. I'm still pretty bullish on this one too. So I'm expecting them to move higher. But in terms of entries, I'm not really seeing it. Maybe Aussie CAD looked a little bit clearer when we were down at the low there. But NZD CAD, yeah, it's a bit more wishy-washy. Okay, so we'll go take a look at pound Aussie. Pound Aussie sell. Yeah, last time I had a look at Pound Aussie, I was talking about some downside. FX Wolf, yes, pound CAD buys. Remember you mentioned yesterday. I think CAD is still pretty weak, so should be looking good. Good morning, Karis. Welcome to the stream. Hope you're well. Welcome. Yeah, I saw the pound CAD analysis. And anyone else who isn't in the Discord, feel free to join. You can share analysis or see what other people are looking at as well. So if you are interested in that, feel free to join. The link to that is at the top of the chat. But yeah, for pound Aussie, I've been speaking about a big move to the downside for this one. But it's been taking its time and it hasn't been moving particularly great as well. You said you entered this morning, Holy One. So I would imagine maybe your entry, maybe somewhere around here, possibly. I'm not too sure. But in terms of the high time frames, I do like pound Aussie to the downside. It looks to me that price is probably forming another lower high for a move down. There are some big levels around here, which looks like nice targets to have. I think you're probably a bit more on an intraday. So I doubt your target will be this low. Maybe your target is looking at this low here, maybe, or this low here. I know you like targeting lows and highs. So I'd imagine maybe one of those two, unless maybe you're looking for a swing trade. But yeah, I like pound Aussie. It's a little bit choppy now, so we'll see how that pans out. We might kind of just move sideways for the rest of the day, to be honest, because I don't think we've got any news today, really. At least not for pound or Aussie. Might have some USD news in the afternoon. Friday the 18th. Yeah, we've got some building permits for USD again, not the biggest news event in the world. But yeah, besides from that, we might just see a little bit sideways price action. It might be a trade that gets going next week potentially. But yeah, I like it to the downsides, especially from the high up there. And there is a lot of room for us to push into. Correct, the first one is the target. Okay, so this low here, yeah. Not bad, I like it. I mean, looking for the intraday move, it looks pretty realistic to me. Price might come into that area and start to mess around a little bit. So targets around that level from an intraday level, I do like it as well. And even from a swing, I do think there's room, but I would be careful because pound Aussie is a bit more of a choppy market. It's not as clean as some of the other pairs, but yeah, I'm liking it. I think for across the board, Euro Aussie, pound NZD, UNZD, I'm pretty bearish on those in general. And Euro Aussie as well is an interesting one because, of course, Euro is a lot weaker than pound right now. So that's why Euro Aussie is kind of seeing a lot more downside. But seeing Euro Aussie sell off like that is actually quite a nice sign if you're selling pound Aussie as well, because both of them, 80% of the time, 90% of the time, tend to move in the same direction. And typically, one will move first and the other will follow. Sometimes it's pound, sometimes it's euro, depending on their strength and weakness. So seeing Euro Aussie looking as bearish as this, looks like it's forming another low high. It looks like it's coming right back down to that low. It is a nice sign that pound Aussie could be doing something similar as well. So yeah, I would expect it to follow, to be honest. Same for pound NZD and same for UNZD as well. After rejecting the high, just euro is a lot weak at the moment, so it looks yeah, it's moving a little bit better. But yeah, in terms of direction, I'm definitely agreeing with you on that one. We'll go through pound CAD and we'll look at UJ as well. So yeah, with pound CAD, FX Wolf, you said you were long pound CAD. I'm pretty sure this was a couple days ago or yesterday. But yeah, pound CAD has had a really nice move. It kind of stopped on the dime because I remember I was mentioning no wicks on the bottom there, but price came back into a really nice level on the daily chart and just absolutely took a U-turn there. And it's looking really, really bullish. So yeah, I mean, with pound CADs, it's definitely a bullish market, but because we did reject the high there quite considerably and quite strongly, I would watch out around 1.81. I know you said you have like an open target, so you're not looking to carry the trade. You're not looking to take profit. You're looking to see how far you can carry it. But as you start approaching 1.81 or even 1.805, I think maybe trading stops or taking partials. I'm not sure how you're looking to manage it, but could be some nice techniques to mitigate against possibly something like that happening, which could happen at any point. But really nice momentum there in the on the 4 hour. Hourly looks pretty good as well. But yeah, as we start approaching some of those prices, I will look into secure gains. All right, no problem. We'll have a good one. Have a nice weekend, my man. We'll catch you in the new week. Okay, I'll take a look at UJ. You said are you targeting 152, Tom, or 152 is the area which I said looks nice for some shorts, which is basically the high here. That's still the area I'm very much looking to take advantage of because it looks like I probably will be stopped out pound yen pretty soon. So if that happens, I'll shift my attention to another another yen pair, which probably will be dollar yen. Of course, I'll wait for the weekly candles to close and digest everything and see if I'm still looking to short them or if I should kind of wait for this consolidation period to finish first before I find some entries. So I'll make those decisions on the weekend. But dollar yen is definitely something I'm looking at, especially at 152. Looks like 149 is being broken through, but because price is still pretty corrective, I still expect that drop to come at some point. But maybe we do push a little bit higher first with dollar yen, and then we get the sell later on. So that's something I'm looking at. I think you said your targets yesterday were like 151 or something. Oh yeah, I target 151 for the Pacific. Yeah, 151. So yeah, I mean, if I'm going to sell from 152, we have to get to 151 first. So hopefully we can get there, test that area, and then go and test 152 as well. But yeah, I think you said you're break even already. So yeah, at break even, yeah, there's no stress in the trades. Let the market do its thing. If it is going to hit your target, it will hit your target. If it's going to take it at break even, it will take it at break even. But there's no risk on the table anymore. You've done the hard work. Now just let the price do its thing. But in terms of my higher time frame bias, it definitely is bearish as we approach that significant level there. So I would be looking for some shorts, but we'll see how we get there, how the confirmations look for dollar yen. But so far, still grinding higher. What's up, Manzondi? Welcome to the stream. Hope you're well. Holy One, what's the expiration date for the 50% discounts? Oh, there is no expiration date so far. I mean, well, it probably will be to the end of the year, but it's we're giving it to the first 1,000 accounts, so it's going to be based on accounts, but the discount will probably end going into 2025. Have secured 1R already. Nice. Oh, is that trail stop loss or in terms of like partials? I mean, either which way. 1R is 1R. But yeah, what's the total risk reward in that position? Because yeah, that looks, because I remember your entry yesterday. I don't know where your stop loss was, but surely that's looking like a 1 to 4 maybe, or 1 to 5 overall. Oh, okay, trading stop. Fair enough. Fair enough. Yeah, especially for the yen pairs, trading stops do work really well. Trading stops do work really well. I mean, from my experience in shifting to using trading stops, because I've used take profits for many years, but I switched over to trading stops, and what I can see is that there are really good times to use trading stops, and there's some poor times to use trading stops. And I think just your overall understanding of market conditions can be really beneficial, whether you use trading stops or not. or you just have a finite target and just take your profit there. And what I can say is that with yen pairs, trading stocks work really, really well if you catch the trend right, because with the yen pairs, they can just keep going, going, and going. And that's how you get some really, really big winners. But with pairs like pound NZD, Aussie CAD, New Zealand CAD, those type of currency pairs, dollar CAD even, yeah, they're probably best just to have the finite take profit and don't trail, because on average they tend to reverse on themselves quite a lot. And even Euro USD will have some times where trading stops just don't work well. Like pretty much for the whole of 2023 and the whole of 2024 so far, if you're using trading stops in here, you might have had a bit of luck in some of these moves here and this one here, but predominantly speaking, trading stops wouldn't work very, very well, because the market's just up and down. And of course, you don't necessarily know that going into the year that the market's going to be corrected, but when you start to see signs of very corrective behaviors, it's time that, okay, maybe I'm going to use take profits. You can use trail stop losses as well to mitigate risk, but you probably want to have a finite profit target at a high or at a low, because the chances are you're probably going to respect it. But then again, in Euro USD in 2022, trading stop loss would work very, very well here. So Euro USD and other markets will have their moments where you want to trail and let the market fly or fall. You don't know how far it's going to go. And then equally to over here, trading stops work well. So using a combination of both, I think, is the best way forward. Use a combination of trading and a combination of take profit. If you're trading FX, that is. If you're trading like gold predominantly or indices predominantly, then maybe just leaving, just using trading might be the best. JPY pairs moving funny. I mean, that's what I suppose that's why people don't like trading JPY pairs, because when you don't trade JPY, it's flying. When you do trade JPY, it just decides it wants to move sideways. And then it can be a bit scary sometimes. But JPY is just another currency pair to me. Definitely packs a punch, and there's a lot of pips there, but yeah. Okay, 3.85R. Not bad, not bad. Yeah, anything above 1.5 to me is good risk to reward. As long as you can make more when you win than you lose. Yeah, it means even if your win rate is half the time, you win, lose, you're making money. And even if it's a little bit less than 50%, you're still making money as well. So positive risk reward for me is a sensible thing to do. Yeah, of course. If the trend wants to continue, I use trading stocks approach in a well-trending market on yen pairs. Trading stocks perfect. Exactly, FX Wolf. Exactly. I cannot agree more. And for markets like indices, where it does, just keep going. Although with indices, I have noticed though, especially with my back testing, is trail stop loss work well to an extent, but I have seen US 30 and well, mostly just US 30. They have pretty deep pullbacks. Like it's not just a smooth kind of gliding trend. It does have phases of that, don't get me wrong, but we have these really steep pullbacks sometimes, which can be a bit of party poopers on your trading stop losses as well. Like this condition here, beautiful, but then it gets to this corrective period here. So although say you bought down here and you're looking good, you're trading like this, it's probably best just to take the profit at the high, similar to here as well. As we push up and then you just come straight back down again, you might as well take your profit at the high or some other way. But yeah, conditions play a big role, and yen pairs on average are pretty good to trail, because moves like this, moves like that, even moves like this as well. If you catch that right, you're laughing. You're laughing. You're having a very good time. But yeah, yen pairs are good for trading. And then you've got your pairs which are absolutely, you don't want to trail at all. Like I said, Aussie CAD. You don't want to trail here, because look how up and down the market is. And again, you'll find this information out from back testing as well. which is why back testing is really important. It's not the holy grail. Back testing is practice, just like how athletes and sports persons they practice their craft. That's what back testing is. It's practice. It's not the real deal. If you're crushing it in back testing, that's good, but that's not necessarily going to translate into live trading. Straight away. It's going to take some time. But back testing can be a great way to find out that information really. So, okay, when I'm trading yen, trading stop loss, really good, seeing really good returns, but then I take the same strategy, same trade management, and go trade Aussie CAD, and I'm actually break even. What's going on? It's probably just because the conditions aren't fitting for that strategy. If you tweak it a little bit, you can probably find some profitability there. What about forward testing? Forward testing is very good as well. Forward testing I'm a big advocate for as well. Again, you forward test on a demo account. Doesn't necessarily have to be a live account either. You can forward test in a demo account. Of course, in terms of the emotional thing of experiencing placing trades and having to manage the emotion part, you won't practice that bit. But again, the idea of testing a strategy, you just want to test the strategy to see if it performs well. If the strategy does perform well, then you know that, okay, I can take that to the live markets. And the only thing I really need to think about is making sure I'm in tip-top condition to actually trade that. And I'm thinking clearly. Forward testing is a great way of doing it. It takes a bit of time with forward testing. I think that's why people kind of skip over it a little bit. And I did for a while as well, because it does take time, because you can't speed up the future, can you? But forward testing can be very effective as well. You can back test while you full test. Crush two birds with one stone. Tom, over the past 2.5 weeks, yen pairs have been really sweet. I managed to pass phase one, coming from a 2% drawdown to 8%. Nice, congratulations. I took 2 trades, just the normal risk of 1%, but the RR has been the main key. Again, that's the benefit of risk to reward, isn't it? That's the benefit of risk to reward, is that you don't have to win often to win. But I won't brag, because I know there's times when yen's crush me. It's again, that's trading. It comes full circle, doesn't it? It comes full circle. But again, with trading, your equity curve is like this. You push up a bit, you sideways a bit, you do really well. Bit of drawdown, bit of sideways, you do really well, and that's trading. And in these periods here, you just have to ride the storm and be just as confident and keep things simple, just as when you're doing this as well. Because here you feel on top of the world. You feel like the world's your oyster. And then when you go through this, you're like, oh, what have I done wrong? What do I need to do to fix it? Maybe you might have made some few mistakes there, which you can review and address, but this is just a natural part of trading. And of course, your edge will then keep you heading to the upside over the long run. But you have to ride out those periods of drawdown as well, which is the most difficult part, because when people are winning, it's very, very easy to trade and be excited about the markets. But when you're in that losing period and you need to stay consistent, you need to stay calm and clear-headed, that's when it becomes a little bit difficult. People change things up, change the plan up, do things they shouldn't be doing, and then everything goes down the drain. But congratulations, Tom. That's a real sign of progression there, because many people, when in drawdown, that's when everything goes to the bin, and they kind of just throw out the param. So going a bit of drawdown shouldn't phase you. It's a normal part of trading. Just keep focusing on your trades and making sure you take the best trades you can find, especially when you're doing a challenge as well. You want to be extra picky for your trades. If it's a personal account, you can afford to be in a bit more drawdown because you don't have those limits. But in a challenge account, you want to be extra picky. But congratulations. I mean, with the yen, that's what the yen can do. With the risk reward, if it flies, it really does fly. Gonna keep an eye on pound USD to see if it can break higher. But yeah, I think I'll probably just leave it until the weekend. How are some of these weekly candles closing? Let me go through the yen pairs. I mean, the yen pairs, I don't know, probably won't see much movement. It'll probably just be like a small bearish candle like we're seeing in Swiss yen. So Swiss yen for me, not looking too good because effectively I don't want it to be breaking past that high. I need it to be breaking back below. Dollar yen, small bullish candle this week. I mean, it's a sign that momentum is slightly slowing down from that big candle a couple of weeks ago. But yeah, 152 is still the area which I'll keep an eye out for the big sell. Aussie yen looks like another doji this week, to be honest. Not much there. I just don't see us pushing back to that high there. I do think we'll go for a bit of a sell, but maybe it's going to be a bigger pullback. Maybe we're going to consolidate for a while. That'll be up to the yen pairs. New Zealand yen, likewise as well, still trading at the high, but another doji just means that we're struggling to break that high, but we need that catalyst. We need something to get going. Not much of information to take there, really. Euro yen, again, look at that. Last week's candle was just a small doji. This week's candle looks like it's just going to repeat that, really, to be honest. So, again, not a lot of information apart from we are stalling at this level of resistance. That's the key takeaway. We're struggling to break through the resistance here. Doesn't mean we can't go and break through it next week, but it just means that this week and the last week as well, we're still struggling. Pound yen, again, small bullish candle there. Momentum is drying up. We're still struggling at the high here as well, but it doesn't mean anything in terms of next week, because next week could just be very bullish or very bearish. It just means we're stalling, really, and same with CAD yen as well, stalling at that high. So yen pairs, not really much to take from the weekly candle, to be honest. Weekly candle is always a nice kind of indication of what we could do next week, but there needs to be context with it. Euro USD, again, because we're just kind of trapped inside this range, really. I'm not going to read too much about that weekly candle because it's pretty bearish, yes, but it's just taking us back into the middle of the range. If we're at the high or at the low, then I can make a bit of use of that, but because we're smack bang in the middle, I'm not going to look too much into that. We could very much easily see a bullish week next week or another big bearish candle pushing us down. Pound USD weekly time frame slowing down at that low. Okay, that's quite significant actually, because the market is giving us a bit of a wick there. So on the weekly term, we're struggling to break through this area. And again, that could give us a bit of a push to the upside as well. So the buys look good there for pound. You just need to see if we can break outside of this descending channel. And if it does, there is room for us to push into. Like I said, back into this high, and then maybe we go through another big sell, or maybe we break the high and go to the high there. But buys from that area look good, and I like the weekly as well because it shows that price is slowing down and struggling to break through. As the USD, again, similar to Euro, when inside a big range, there is some level around here which market is slowing down, but effectively this is not really the market I'm trying to trade. If it held into that low, I liked it a lot more. Dollar CAD, just providing a bit of a wick there, not much information really. That's what I'm looking for price to come into, and that's what I'm looking for the retest. But at current price, not much to decipher there really. And again, we still got 11 hours left before the candle does close as well, so things can change. We're told to look at the historical data to the left. I personally don't think it really matters. I don't base my trades off it. Just what indicators are currently telling me works fine. Yeah, there's multiple ways to look at it, because I know traders who just focus on like the past, few bits of price action, and that's where they base the information on. And I know traders that will look at the highest time frames, map out key levels that we haven't tested in decades, and use that to base off trades from. So again, like we've mentioned many times in the stream before, there's multiple ways to trade, and effectively all it can do is buy where there's value and sell where there's value, and buy where there's opportunity and sell there's opportunity as well. So if you can buy where the buyers are buying and price moves up, and you can sell where the sellers are selling and price moves down, you make money. So whatever tools or technique or whatever you use to do that isn't necessarily important. It's just whether there is an edge there which you can apply over the long run. And yeah, if you're going to look at indicators a lot more, like moving averages, even Fibonacci as well, other indicators, you be more focused on the recent price action. If you're looking at more market structure and support resistance, you'll be scrolling back and looking at price to the left as well. So yeah, there's multiple ways to look at it, but yeah, you can look at indicators which will give you the information here and now of the current price, or you can look at past levels in the market where we've seen evidence that the market has turned around or sold from, and you can use that to help with your trading as well. So there's multiple ways to look at it. That's a good point though. Dollar CHF looking pretty bullish. New Zealand dollar. Dollar CAD looking pretty bullish as well. Aussie's providing a wick, but just means slowing down. And then gold, lovely candle there. Lovely candle. So yeah, if gold can pull back next week, I'll be more than happy to catch a little retest there. Silver. Yeah, silver's just a bit awkward, but again, if it can break that high, that's what I'll be looking for the retests, and then some buys afterwards. How some of these CAD pairs looking? Yeah, it's just consolidation there. Aussie CAD, I like the wicks. That can potentially see another continuation. New Zealand CAD stalling at that low. That could see some upside. Pound CAD, not much there, just the doji. Mostly wicks and the crosses. And how the seat share pair is looking. Not much really. Yeah, I mean, overall this week haven't seen a lot of movement really. It's not like we've had some big news events and seen some big closes. So there's not really much to report in the weekly time frame. Normally we had a big news event. There's some nice big weekly candles which set up some moves for next week. But I'm looking across the board. CHF pairs are a little bit dry. Yen pairs are very dry. USD pairs have seen some momentum, but most of them are consolidating in the higher time frame. So it doesn't really create much opportunity for me. Then looking at some of the crosses, I mean, some of them have provided some nice wicks to the upside. So that could be a translation that we might be seeing some downside next week. Something like that for pound NZD. Pound Aussie struggling there to the upside as well. Euro Aussie seen some nice wicks there too. So it does look like these guys are struggling. And then yeah, AD&Z, I'm not interested at all. If you guys are enjoying the stream, by the way, finding it useful, entertaining, informative, please be sure to drop a like and subscribe. It does really help out. Appreciate everyone who has liked the stream so far. And of course, make sure you hit the bell as well so you don't miss out on any streams or uploads in the future. What's up, Pavinator? Welcome to the stream. Hope you're well. Happy Friday, right back at you. Now looking for a buy position, Aussie dollar. Okay. Looking for an entry around 0.675, TP at 0.686. Okay, we'll have a look. See. Thompson Aussie has been really bullish overall. Yeah, mostly it's been bullish against most currencies. It's stronger than pound Aussie, Euro Aussie's been down. Aussie dollar seen a bit of upside, to be fair, and that's saying a lot because USD has been really bullish, to be honest, this week, the past couple of weeks. So Aussie dollar finishing the week with a bit of bullish pressure is definitely a sign for Aussie being strong. And then yeah, Aussie New Zealand dollars pushing up too. So yeah, Aussie has been on the stronger side of things, and Euro and pound have definitely been on the weaker side of things this week. Okay, so yeah, for Aussie dollar, I like Aussie dollar to the upside. I do think there is more upside for this one. In terms of entries, I'm personally more interested around the 0.664 area for a buy, because it lines up with this lovely daily low there, which gave us this nice spring to the upside for those new highs. So if we were to come back and retest that, that to me would be a nice place to buy and a nice place for a stop loss as well. Of course, depending on the entry, but yeah, stop loss predominantly will be below the low. And then yeah, looking for a move to the upside. As the current price, it's still looking quite corrective. So I do think there could possibly be another sell for Aussie dollar back to the low. In fact, I'm still looking for dollar to actually see a bit more upside, back into 104. There's a pretty big level here on the dollar, around 104, which I think we've got a pretty good chance of coming to retest before we might see some downside. So if USD does go through that push, it should drag Aussie dollar with it to the downside there too. But yeah, in terms of myself, while we're looking for entries, it's down at that low. Doesn't mean we necessarily have to see that move price. Could leave without me and push up if it wants to. But the way I see it, that this low looks really good. I like the buys there. And yeah, if we can hold that, I do think there is definitely room to the upside for Aussie dollar to push into. At the moment, it looks to me that we'll come into an area of resistance. So I would refrain from looking to buy now. You said you're looking to enter around 0.675, which is around here. So you're looking to buy there. 68605. 68605. So you take profit is around there. You're looking to buy there. Where's your stop loss for the trade, Papinator? And so are you setting like an order and you're waiting for price to fill that order and then be triggered into the buy, or you waiting for price to get there, then you're looking to enter manually? And yeah, where would your stop loss be for that trade? I mean, I'm bullish. I'm looking for a similar move on Aussie dollar, maybe not all the way back up to 686. I think back into this high is pretty good, around 0.68. I mean, I'll be trading stop, so I'll see how far I can take it. But around 0.68, I'll probably be a bit more careful with my trade, maybe a bit more aggressive with the management, because that is a pretty big level. And if you can break through that, maybe we get back to the high there even. But yeah, where I'm looking at is definitely 0.664 for entries. The argument that Aussie strength, yeah, Aussie does um, is correlated with gold as well. So fundamentally, that probably is another factor to it as well. And gold is soaring at the moment, and doesn't look like it's slowing down. So I haven't thought of yet until it's executed. Okay, fair enough. Yeah, I mean, again, when you think of an entry, you should always think of a stop loss. I think that's um, yeah, something you should think about, because if an entry is of course great in terms of getting into the trade, but the stop loss is always going to define that risk as well. So I think going forward, whenever you think of an entry, always think of a stop loss too, because that gives you the whole package. So yeah, with the entry, I don't mind it, but personally, I don't know. Are you looking for an order there, or is it a market execution? If you know, let me know. But in terms of the direction I like it, is just this is where I like to buy from. I can get a nice entry there, probably a nice stop loss as well, and risk reward looks pretty good should it play out. Um, yeah, I think in terms of the entries around here, it's coming back into resistance. So you're always going to have a bit of trouble around there. Not that we can't break through, we can do, but looking for entry here as we come back into the high, to me, doesn't look optimal. Um, yeah, if price was to push down, that's just a bit more favorable, because you're now back at support rather than back at resistance, and you get a nice place for a stop loss as well. rather than if price is up here, it's a bit awkward for a stop loss, especially if it's down here as well, because the risk reward, just gets pretty skewed. You're looking at around the 1-to-1 probably. Yeah, which is nothing necessarily wrong for 1-to-1, but if you can get it positive, that's always better. So yeah, I prefer the opportunity a lot more, but coming back into resistance doesn't look optimal for me in terms of an entry. And yeah, the stop loss doesn't become pretty clear as well. Used to do Binance. Oh, okay, that stuff's dangerous. Never again. Oh, really? Um, yeah, I've never really used it before. To be honest, I've always used market execution. Never really looked at orders, buy limits, sell limits, buy stops. I've never really used that before. So I think they can be really, again, there's pros and cons to everything. As I keep saying, there's pros and cons to everything. With buy limits, sell limits, buy stops, sell stops, you can set where you're expecting price to turn around from or continue from. And then once you put those orders in, it's kind of just you've done your job, you walk away and let the market do its thing. But in terms of just anticipating the market to do something is always a bit difficult because you can't kind of react to what price is giving you. So yeah, I'm not a big fan per se. Okay, market execution is essence in the plan to enter after the break of structure and a retest. Oh, okay. So you're looking for price to break and retest. That makes a bit more sense there. I thought you're just looking to buy as soon as price gets there. So that's why I was a bit confused. Because I thought, if you see price pushing up and then you're going to buy into that area. So that's why I was a bit confused. But if you're waiting for price to go and break through it and then come back for the retest, okay, I can make sense of that. And then effectively your stop loss becomes underneath here, because if the market's bleeding through that level, doesn't necessarily mean that it won't push up, but it definitely means that that level's not holding anymore. So you want to be out to trade anyway. Maybe price was to come back down a little bit deeper. You can look to find another entry. But yeah, if that's the case, if you're waiting for price to break and retest it, and then you're finding your entries on top of the level, okay, yeah, that makes sense. And then yeah, your stop loss will just be underneath that area. If this is the high you're looking to buy from, then that's essentially where your stop loss is going to be. And in terms of your risk reward, it definitely is going to be positive if price was to get there. But I would say keep an eye around 0.68 because that looks like a pretty big level to me as well. And that could be a nice first target, book some profits. And if it continues, you can always trail or maybe stop loss to break even. That'll be up to you. But yeah, I like the opportunity. I mean, this is what I'm looking for. But in terms of the bias, I'm pretty bullish. And at least you're buying from structure now as well. So yeah, I can make sense of that now. I was confused before, but now I can understand it. Now I see the light. But yeah, that's probably going to be a trade for next week. Everything is dangerous. True. True. Yeah, I mean, I think the underlying rule is just know what you're doing with trading, whether you're using market execution or limit orders, whatever you're doing. Just make sure you know what you're doing. Um, that's why I have alerts. I need to analyze. If I put my balance, I could put crap trades. Yeah, so analyze probably better before emptying. Yeah, I agree. Again, that's why I'm a big fan of market execution because you can see what price is doing and you can actually think on the spot and say, okay, this does look good for a trade, or no, the market is absolutely flying right now. I do not want to short that. I'm seeing no evidence of price about to reverse, so I'm just not going to enter a trade here, and that could save you, a few losses. That could save you a few extra losses a month, and that could definitely end up at the end of the year as well. So, yeah, I'm a big fan of market execution, market orders. I guess they have their pros because you can really refine an entry and you set everything and kind of walk away from it. But yeah, I'd rather enter it manually. Comment everything you said about breaking test is beautiful plan, and it's more confirmed for decent. Exactly, Tom. Exactly. I agree with that 100%. So yeah, you want to have something where you can like manage the trade and you can actually look at it and formalize a plan with it. Decent risk to rewards. You're finding an entry at a nice area, got a decent stop loss below, and you got healthy targets as well. And you want to have of course, a management plan for the trade as well. You don't want to just take a trade like this and then have a target all the way up there. Because sure, if price does get there, you're looking pretty good, but the chances are price probably will find some obstacles along the way, may come against you. So you want to have something where you can book profits or trailer stop loss as well. But yeah, if that's the plan you're looking at, it looks pretty good, Pavinator. You just have to stay pretty patient because price is nowhere near that high right now. Hasn't even broken it. So yeah, keep an eye. But I mean, I remember the trade you sent, was it last week with the entry here and the stop loss entry here, stop loss to there, and the target was here, which looks like a nice trade actually going the opposite direction, something like that. So yeah, I like this second trade a lot better. Yeah, next week plan. Yeah. And then there comes the waiting bit as well, waiting for the market to come to you now. UJ has liquidated a lot of short-term buyers, or is it pushing down? What's cooking with UJ? Oh, okay, with that wick there. Yeah, it would have done. It drops like the 15-minute. Ooh, wow. Where did that come from? Where did that come from? Is that USD or yen? No, it's probably yen. Yeah, big spike there. Damn. See, that's the yen pairs for you. All of a sudden, just a big spike, and you wonder why. Why did we spike? I have no idea. There's no news for yen. We had some news for yen this morning, inflation rate, but that did absolutely no impact. Wasn't really bullish, wasn't really bearish, just nothing. So yeah, I have no idea why we did that. Okay, got out of trade policy. Well, it's profit, it's profit. Can't complain. Pavinator can't complain. Profit's profit. Who's the guy waiting for the 100,000 US 30 Black Swan event trade that had me in stitches? I can't even remember. I think it was in Keba. In Keba, yeah. Yeah, that was crazy, to be fair. Because I'm pretty sure he said he was shorting here. To be honest, like if he actually did short from where he said he was shorting, because I'm pretty sure it was the high here. Actually, US 30 did go for a bit of a dive there. Um, of course, it's gone past. I'm pretty sure his stop loss was like here. It's like really just tight above. So if he didn't book any profits there, he would have took a SL. But yeah, it's a bit wild because targets were down here. I mean, I like the optimism, but that is a hell of a move, especially with a stop loss that small as well. I can understand maybe if you just knew some inside information and your stop loss was like here and you're looking for a big long-term decline. Even that's pretty aggressive, but at least I can digest that a little bit more. But having a stop loss like there for move back down there, it's just very, very unreasonable. especially going against the trend in US 30 as well. And that's the thing, that there's a time for big sells, there's a time for big buys as well. There's a time where you can really look to stretch trades and have big targets, but you have to take market context into consideration. US 30 number one is just so bullish right now. Taking shorts at the highs is just going to be a very difficult trade to do. And if you're going to do it with a very tight stop loss, you don't want to be in the trade for too long. You want to take your profits and run, sort of thing, because the chances are you'll probably see a pullback, but the chances are it'll probably come right back to your entry price. So if you are shorting these indices, you want to be in and out very, very quickly. Like the move here, in, and then when price starts coming to some areas, you want to book profits at least. Doesn't necessarily have to exit the trade, but at least protect your downside. So yeah, market conditions are very, very important. And because US 30 is just in that very bullish mode, looking for big trades like that is just one in a million sort of thing. Yeah, Tuesday. Yeah, Tuesday. Okay, it was this week. Don't know why I thought it was next week, last week. But yeah, that is a crazy move. Because if it did play off, that would be like the trade of the century. Like he knows something we don't, or everyone really. But yeah, you got to learn somewhere, because I remember back in the day with some crazy trades as well that made no sense. But yeah, that's where experience comes in, and then you can progress from that as well. But yeah, very optimistic trade. Very optimistic trade. I have to give him that. I don't think I've seen a trade that kind of risk reward on the stream before. So pat on the back for that. Hey, what's up, Ben? Welcome to the stream. Friday again. I know the weeks are going quick. Good luck with the launch of the prop from this weekend. Appreciate it, Ben. Appreciate it. Yeah, the launch is this weekend, ladies and gentlemen. So do keep an eye out for that. As I said, discount opportunities will be in the Discord channel, which is at the top of the chat. So you guys shouldn't miss out on that. Just join the Discord. But yeah, appreciate it, Ben. Appreciate it. Very, very excited for it. Very excited for it. Been months in the chamber. Finally launching, and yeah, it should be exciting stuff. I mean, we've got a lot of plans with Elevating Trade. It's not just the prop firm. There's a lot things outside of that as well, outside that bubble as well, which we're working on too. So excited for that to come out, but that'll be a bit into the future. When I first came to the space, people were saying all Forex markets move at least 8 pips a day. There's some truth to that. Yeah, again, in terms of like up and down, not necessarily just make an 80 pip move up. It might be kind of 80 pips like this, and in total it's 80 pips. But then again, it's on average as well. There'll be some days where we move a lot more, some days where we just don't do anything. Ben, you still have a bounce on majors? Yes, more so on Aussie dollar. That one looks the most practical for me at the moment in terms of a place for an entry and a buy. Euro USD broke from my area. Pound looks good as well, but I need to break outside of the descending channel, because it's still just about trading inside this level here, which is the area I said if we can hold. I do think we're looking for a bit of a bounce there, and looking at the dollar as well. The dollar's just been grinding higher, and is coming up to some prices where I do expect to see a bit of a pullback, at least a breather for dollar, and that could be a nice trade in Aussie dollar. That could be a nice trade in pound, just for a move like this before maybe we get a big sell, something like this in Aussie dollar before maybe we get a big sell as well. So I do think those moves look pretty good for next week. But yeah, I'm not necessarily convinced that we're gonna do something like that on Aussie or that on pound right now. But I do think a bit of a bounce is likely. Wow, that's a lot of arrows. So yeah, that's kind of what I'm keeping an eye out for. And I'm loving gold as well. Gold's just looking absolutely beautiful, just flying right now. So some pullbacks in gold look pretty good. And gold just doesn't care that USD's bullish as well. USD's been pushing high, and it's like they're positively correlated at this point. DXY big push up, gold pretty much the same thing there as well. So it's almost like they're positively correlated. So gold just doesn't care what dollar's doing right now either. Yeah, pound is decent. I agree. Still bearish dollar long term. Yes, I just think price is just going to have another swing of its range. So if I expand onto like the weekly chart, I do think price is just gonna, let me move this out of the way. I think price is just kind of push up into this area up here, put another high in, and probably get another big drop as we kind of continue this range here. So it just looks like we're getting another swing of the range, and then maybe 105, 106, we might spill over again. If we were to break out of the range, that's kind of where I'll remove that bearish bias, because at that point, maybe we just put a low in to continue back to the highs. That could be a possibility. But for me to expect that, I would want to see this area broken through. For now, I'm just going to be looking at something like this. But yeah, there is that 104 area, which we might pull back from and then push a bit higher before the drop. So yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. Okay, wow, that's a few, there's definitely a few pairs to look at there from favor. Euro yen, um, dollar yen, Aussie dollar, dollar yen, pound yen. Okay, I mean we'll go through some yen pairs. Let's tick off those boxes, and then I just had a look at Aussie dollar. So if you scroll back like 3 minutes, you'll see the analysis to that. Holy one, is your dad still doing stocks? No, he never did stocks. He trades FX. Never traded stocks. This gold move has been unbelievable. I know, couldn't care less about the dollar right now. Exactly. It couldn't care less at all. Dollar's pushing hard, but gold says not as hard as me, because that one is absolutely flying. And I expect silver to join the party as well. I think silver's gearing up for a similar move. So I'm going to keep an eye on that one, because I think silver, there's a bit more kind of room for us to push into, because gold being at all-time highs is great and all, but I'm always thinking that that bigger pullback is going to come soon. But with silver, I expect it to do a lot of catching up. So I'm definitely keeping an eye on that. Okay, so the yen pairs. So dollar yen, euro yen, pound yen. So yeah, as I said, with dollar yen, 152 is my next area to look at. Looks like 149 is not holding, so 152 is where I'm looking for price to push into, and then depending how we look, expecting to see a drop to the downside, possibly a swing all the way back to that low, but we'll see how far we can take it. There are definitely some areas around here which you look to book some profits in along the way. But at the moment, dollar yen is kind of correctively grinding higher. So I'm going to look to see if we can keep that up back to that channel, back to that level at 152, and then hopefully maybe some type of breakout like this, and then we get a nice sell. So that's kind of why I'm eyeing up for dollar yen. But from a top-down perspective, the market is coming back into a major resistance here on the weekly chart, and I'm looking for some type of head and shoulder pattern here. And if we can hold that 152 area, there is that possibility. We do see that big head and shoulder pattern open, and possibly a big push to that low, and maybe beyond that as well. But that's kind of what I'm looking at from a top-down perspective. Euro yen, very similar thing as well. Market holding on to major higher time frame resistance. In fact, this one is another head and shoulder pattern as well. Left head, possibly right shoulder. And again, if you hold into that 164 area, looking for a big drop to the downside, and again, possibly new lows there too. Daily chart was still holding onto that resistance ish. But yeah, we've just been very, very flat with the yen pairs. So if we can maybe push back to the high, get a sell there, or if price breaks the low, that could be a nice trade. But yeah, we need either price to break the low or come back and retest the high. But as long as we can hold 164, I'm looking for a big drop to the downside, possibly back to the low here. And then pound yen's broken through the high. So this one's been a little bit awkward because we broke through the high a while ago, but we are still pretty corrective. So I do think we can still top out and see a move down. Maybe price might want to push back to some areas up there around 197. If that's the case, I'm not so interested to get back involved in pound yen because euro yen or dollar yen or even CAD yen probably look a lot better for me in terms of fitting my plan because pound yen's kind of left that area behind. But again, I still do expect to see a continuation of that move in July. It just might be a bigger correction than expected. So something like that. And then we might get the big sell to the downside. So with the yen pairs in general, I am looking at a big sell. That's the move I'm looking at on the higher time frames. Just need to see that kind of come into motion, which isn't really showing signs of that just yet. Might see a bit more upside for the yen pairs first before the markets do get that sell. But yeah, that's kind of where I'm at with the yen pairs. Okay. Tom, seriously, Mika, after the launch, where will most of your attention be? Being Mr. CEO, put most of your energy in the firm, or Mika out of the YouTube channel? It'll be both, Tom. It will be both. Because, of course, the firm is going to be very, very important to me. But, of course, my channel is going to be very important to me as well because that's where everything started in terms of the online stuff. So, yeah, the channel will be very important. I've still got plans for the YouTube channel. I want to grow that as much as possible. Of course, there will be sacrifices I have to make in terms of the channel for the firm at some stage, but yeah, the idea is still both. Of course, when the launch does happen, a lot of focus will be on the firm, making sure everything is in tip-top shape. But as time progresses, yeah, I'll put more energy back into the channel. But yeah, long run, I'm going to be putting energy in both. Yeah, that is true, everyone. That is true. How long is it? How long has it been since you first came onto the channel? I have no idea. I know it's been a while. I know it's been a while, but I didn't know. I can't remember when you joined. By January peak at AP. If I'm wearing an AP membership by January on the stream, then I've lost the plot. I've lost the plot. Someone needs to bring me back down to earth if I'm doing that. It's up to you guys to bring me back down to earth because that can't run. Marcus got cold feet, stifling me repeatedly. I couldn't be in some euro swing profits right now. About again, Mark, it happens. It happens, my man. You're not the first person, and you won't be the last. And that probably won't be the last time you do get cold feet as well. I think the key thing is confidence. Confidence is essential in trading because every time you do take a trade, you're putting up risk, you're putting up money that you could potentially lose if it doesn't play out according to your analysis. So you want to have confidence. Not that every trade is going to play out because of course it won't, but you have the confidence that if you take this trade 50 or 100 times, you will walk away for profit. So it's worthwhile. It's worth your effort. You should be taking these trades. So if you don't have that confidence yet, then to go gain that confidence, back testing is a good way of doing that in terms of practicing and building that trust in your edge. But then again, the best way to build confidence is ironically to take those trades and and keep at it, keep taking those trades, keep practicing those habits, because you'll ride the storm and then you'll look back in your trades and you see, oh, okay, the past few months have been pretty good. I've made some nice profits from this. That then gives you more confidence to keep going. Of course, you will have some down periods as well, but looking back at your good periods will give you the confidence to keep trading through the down periods as well. So, yeah, you need to work on getting that confidence up. And I think back testing is a good way of doing it, and giving you confidence in your edge, that the edge is there. You just need to trade it. Um, and then, yeah, when you consistently place trades and you kind of don't think too much about it, the confidence will naturally come and the cold feet will start to disappear. Okay, pandemic time. Wow, pandemic time. That's what, 2020? That's 4 years. You're a veteran of the channel. Didn't realize it was that long, but thinking about it, it might be. Yeah, it might be. Wow, that is long, very very long. Um, got cold feet long gold on Tuesday. Got PTSD from trying to long gold at the high last time and getting run over. Yeah, that's actually a real thing. The PTSD bit, I think that's a real thing, in trading. I don't think that's spoken about enough, because if you go through some dark times in trading, that does play a role in your future trades, because you have those flashbacks to last time you took a trade at this price and you're getting burnt. So you're like, oh, I'm not going to do that again. But then the time you don't do it, you see it actually play out, and you're like, so yeah, I think that's a real thing, to be fair. Trading PTSD, I think that's a real thing. Um, all right, no problem, Tom. Have a good weekend, my man. Take care. It knows me now because I have been a prominent speaker before. I was quiet, only 3 years into my journey, so I didn't have much to say. Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. Yeah, I mean, yeah, that is that. No, to be fair, you have said like little messages here and there. Of course, now you are definitely a prominent speaker, but I can imagine some odd messages here and there. But yeah, that is crazy. You need to get you like a T-shirt or something. Especially very specific scenario like longing at previous high. Yeah, exactly, Ben. 100%, 100%. Or just even trading a certain pair that you just haven't had good fortunes with, taking a few losses. You come back to it and you have the same thoughts as last time. Thoughts on DXY and other currencies next month with US elections and all. Well, again, with the US elections, that's just up in the air. Whatever happens, happens. I'm not going to try and predict what the outcome in the markets will be with the US elections. I remember last US elections, USD was very weak after in 2020. I remember Euro USD saw a lot of upside. In fact, I can go to it, can't I? Yeah, it was over here. This was the last US elections. Yeah, November over here, really big push. So yeah, USD was very weak. Euro USD went up. Pound USD went up. Where is it? November. Yeah, over here. November time. Yeah, big push up. But again, that was the last US election. I wasn't trading the one before that. When was that? That was 2016. Yeah, I was only just starting to come into trading shortly after that. So that's the one I remember. And USD was very, very weak, and we saw a lot of upside. Will that happen again? I have no idea. Um, Again, with me being a very technical trader, I'm just going to wait for price to do its thing and then wait for things to settle, and then I'll come up with a bias and a plan. In terms of USD longer term, again, I am still looking for a big move back to the lows here, but we might see a lot more upside first. We might push back to 105, 106 before we do see another push back down, kind of continuing these lower highs there. So that could be a possibility. But in terms of the more kind of immediate future with the dollar, as we approach the lows here, we might see a bit of a dive, a bit of a dip, retrace some of this bullish leg here, that maybe we continue a little bit higher. Of course, the US elections is still 2 weeks time, or a little bit more than that. Is it 3 weeks? It's not far off 3 weeks, but it's 2 weeks more like. So that could happen in 2 weeks, I suppose. Maybe not. But yeah, in terms of what I'm looking at now, kind of for going into next week, I'm looking for a bit of retracement, and that to me is the move for next week, really, for dollar. A pullback, and then maybe we can speak about some buys later on. This is kind of where I said some buys would look nice, but I'm not too sure if we see such bigger move to get there. We'll make that call next week. But the move I'm looking for now is some shorts from 104, possibly some longs on euros, some longs on pound. If we start to see some momentum kick in, some longs on Aussie dollar too as well. Maybe some shorts on dollar CAD, but I'm only interested in taking this one higher up. Something like that will look good. So yeah, that's kind of where I'm at with USD. But again, in terms of election, that anything can happen there. Number one, depends who's elected. And then depends how the markets view the outcome of the election. Might be bad in USD, might be good in USD. Yeah, so I'll let the market do its thing, and then I'll make my decision. But what I can say is, though, there will most likely be a lot of momentum, a lot of volatility, which is something I'm looking forward to, because the markets have been a bit stale coming to the end of the year. It's really October, mid-October. Normally we're seeing some free-flowing price action right now. Maybe it's just the calm before the storm. Expecting to see a bit more movement by now. Maybe we're going to have a nice November and a nice December. But across the board, haven't really seen much movement, apart from gold, really, and maybe some other currency pairs here and there. But most of the price action this month's been pretty flat. I mean, if I go to the monthly chart, this is the month so far of October on the yen pairs. I mean, it's a doji there for New Zealand yen. Euro USD, okay, that's a pretty big move there. Pound USD, that's not bad. New Zealand dollar, that's not bad. Dollar CAD, that's not bad. The USD pairs have seen a bit of movement, to be honest. They're just inside a big range, which is why it's not the best, because if this candle here was like in a trend, I could use that a little bit more. But because it's just in a big range there, it's not really giving me a lot of confidence, because I don't like trading the ranges. And then outside of that, yeah, these pairs have been a bit flat, to be honest. CHF pairs, yeah, mainly dojis, really. So yeah, not the biggest month in the world, but then again, we need these months for the big ones, to be honest. So hopefully we can end the month with a little bit more momentum. But maybe the election could give us that. What's up, Tony Gold? I don't know if I said hello to you. Hope you're doing well. Can you show your chart colors? Oh, it's an interesting little question there. Okay. So for the green, it's this color there, and the red, it's the red at 100% for the body and the borders, and the wick is the third white one from the left. Yeah, and of course for the background, it's the second black one from the right. And I think, yeah, that's it, really. But yeah, this is not even my favorite chart setting. It's the white background I like the most. And that's kind of what I use on my other chart, which I don't use on the stream. But because of course, the lighting and people's eyes being very sensitive, I use the black one. And to be fair, it's probably better for your eyes anyway, to be honest. staring at light charts all day might actually not be good for you, to be honest. But I think aesthetically, the white background looks a bit better. But yeah, I don't mind the black one as well. So yeah, at the moment, currently only in pound yen. Got taken out Aussie Chef this morning. Ben, are you still in Aussie Chef, by the way? Because I know you were buying that one. Okay, well, alternative chart colors just so I can flick every now and again. Fairs. Sometimes I feel like it can give you a different perspective on price. Yeah, it can do sometimes, to be honest. It can do. See things a little bit differently. What's up, Lauder? Welcome to the stream. Hope you're doing good. That's funny how chart colors can be a part of your analysis. Naked chart with a different color scheme, throwing an inverse chart as well. That is actually so true. Actually, different color scheme, inverse it. It's like a new chart, a new currency pair. That is very true. Actually, it's different. I think trading views kind of changed the game low key in terms of the analysis because I used to do all my analysis on MT4, but then switching over to trading views like a whole new world. And MT4 is decent, but it's just pretty rigid. MT5 is a bit better, but again, still pretty rigid too. But trading view is it's like a canvas really. It's like I'm an artist on here. All right, cool. Still holding on to CTF. Nice. Do you have a target for that trade, Ben? Because I know that pair has been pulling your strings a little bit. So hopefully it can play out for you finally. I had to apologize for my chart on Discord. Yeah, no worries. I could make it out just about early on. Basically, black with no color candlestick, no backgrounds. I've only ever traded off my phone and had the same chart since day one. Wow. How come it's the black on black? Is it just to neutralize everything in terms of having red and green, kind of keeping things neutral so it doesn't get you excited about a big bullish or bearish candle? But the black and black just looks really serious. It's like you're not messing around at all. Harry, UJ, okay, we'll take a look. No problem. Tigers Valhalla. Sure, Odin will be proud. Okay, so dollar yen. So yeah, dollar yen. I'm looking for a big sell at 152. So far, we're slowly grinding higher, but this is just like a big corrective channel to me. So I do think at some point we'll get the big drop. 149, we've broken past that point, so I'm no longer really interested there anymore. So 152 is the place I'm looking at, and basically I'm just looking at a really big head and shoulder pattern on the daily / weekly chart. So I'm looking for a big sell at that area, but of course I'll see how we get there, see how we react with that level. If things look good, maybe see a nice close outside the channel. That could be a nice entry signal for me, similar to how my Aussie Chef trade went. Stops above the high, and then if things go well, possibly a nice swing to the low, but we shall see. Need to get there first anyway. But yeah, from a swing perspective, looking at a big sell, I suppose day trading on the low time frames, buy still look like the best play. I wouldn't want to sell it now either. So we could still probably see another push back to the high. So yeah, if you're intraday, I think buy is still the play. North Seriously, I probably wouldn't look to swing it to 152, but yeah, push back to the high and maybe seeing how far we can take it. Looks like a good prospect. But yeah, from a swing bias, I'm still getting ready for the shorts. Let me know what you're looking at on UJ as well. Since MT4 had the major issue recently, remember it was removed. Yeah, I do actually. I forgot about that. Wow, that feels like a whole nother time, a whole nother universe when MT4. I remember when that happened. All hell broke loose. I remember that. But because I'm on Android, so that never actually affected me. MT4 was never removed from Android's app store. Oh, they now only give a black background. The white is no longer available. I didn't know that. Wow, that's weird. That is very weird. I did not know that. Looking for a start taking profit 0.596. Okay, leave some on for a runner. Okay, where it is 5. Move this out of the way. Let me just delete it. I'm not on the trade anymore. 0.596. Okay, looking for a bit of distance on that. That's all the way up here. But the risk reward's looking pretty good. So yeah, I mean, I like it. If the market is going to put a higher low in, then I would expect us to at least get back to the high here. And that's really where the obstacle to me lies, because this is a pretty big level in the market, at least in the daily chart anyway. Solid support, resistance, support there as well, resistance. That's where I sold from previously, and you did too. So yeah, if the market can break through that, then I think there's a lot of room to the upside, not only just to 0.596, but potentially back to 0.608, which is back to these highs up there. So there's a lot of room to the upside. Should we break above that? If not, could get another sell. So I would watch out for that. But yeah, 0.586 for me is the real kind of make or break level. If you can get above that, then yeah, I think your 0.596 will follow after. It's a higher low in the daily chart. To be honest, I think this could really run okay. So you're looking for that to be a higher low, and then basically expecting a nice little trend to form. So yeah, that possibly could be the case. I just would like to see price break above that 0.586 level. Then I think the sky's the limit for you. Because with me for the buys anyway, I'll be interested with buys for Aussie CHF if we're above this level. If we can do something like this, I would be very open to some buys and looking to take it back up here, really. If we are going to put this trend in, then that to me looks like a nice opportunity there. But yeah, there's definitely room for Aussie CHF to push into. But yeah, I would watch out for that level. Lauder, thoughts on GU? Okay, currently on indices, US30 and NAS. Okay. Even though I'm currently in indices US30 and as well. Again, I don't mind getting to a similar currency pair as long as the currency pair I'm trading is kind of like break even. So if I'm like long pound and I want to get into long euros, if pound USD is already break even, no risks on the table, and I don't mind getting to euro because pound, there's no risk there. So it's a fresh trade. It is. If I've got risk on the pound trade and I'm looking to get into euro, then I'll probably wait a bit longer. But yeah, US30 and S&P still looking pretty bullish to me. So I'm naturally expecting more upside for them. Pound USD, I'm looking for upside as well. Where is pound USD? Did I accidentally delete it? I don't know how I did that. So yeah, with pound USD, I like the buys as well. It's just yeah, we've got this descending channel, that kind of like last obstacle in our way. So if price can break through that, then I think the buys will look really good with pound. Because the key thing is we're still holding on to this low. We kind of crept below it slightly yesterday or the day before yesterday. But it looks like we might be recovering that. It might just be a slight dip, slight fake, slight break of the low, which does happen from time to time. So if we can get above that descending channel, then I am looking at a big push because this bullish structure is still at play as long. Oh, that is a horrendous line. As long as we can hold onto this low here. So if that can persist, if we can hold to that, then yeah, definitely looking for a big swing. So yeah, I do like pound to the upside. And I think maybe that breakout either comes later today or maybe early next week. Painful pair though. Yes, it is. First time I've traded CHF pair. Don't know if I'll continue after this. It scarred you for life. The PTSD's kicked in already. Haven't even finished the trade. It's okay when you're long in, you collect positive swaps. Yeah, true, true. At least, even if you do take a break even, for example, you still walk away with some profit. Makes you getting taxed to hold. It's frustrating. Yeah, very, very true. Now it's both for my GJ and Aussie Chef positions. But yeah, I think that's again one of the drawbacks. Which we spoke about this earlier this week or maybe last week. I think earlier this week about CHF pairs being a bit slow and the cross pairs in general being a bit slow, and it's sometimes a bit more attractive just to trade the USD pairs or maybe the yen pairs or indices, which is a valid argument. But the way I see it, there's opportunities across the board. It's just you have to be aware of what you're getting into. And with the CHF pairs, you could be sitting on a position for a while. It could take its time, and especially if you're selling, you have to be aware of the negative swaps. And if you're okay with that, then be prepared for it. If it's not what you want to be getting involved with, then there are other markets to look at which you can focus on. But the reason why I trade a lot of markets and have a wide range is because I'm looking for the best opportunity. And sometimes that might come with Aussie Chef, it might come with Euro USD. But I just want to give myself the opportunity to trade Aussie Chef when it looks good and give myself the opportunity to trade Euro when it looks good too. No problem, Lauda. Happy to help. Holy one, trading USD pairs, touch nothing else that lasts long. See marks myself. Yeah. Again, that's basically my point. There's good opportunities, pretty much all markets. So yeah, personally, I don't want to limit myself to just a particular set of currency. I mean, there's pros and cons to it because you can get really comfortable with a certain market and really in tune with it. But then again, there'll be times where maybe you can't trade that market no longer, or it goes for a very choppy period, which happens to all markets. Markets don't always stay nice and clean. There will be a time where the USD pairs become hideous to trade, and the crosses will actually look a lot more attractive. So you want to be able to kind of get involved with different markets, and you want to be able to do it as well. So again, there's nothing wrong with trading more predominantly the USD pairs. Say like 75% of your trades come from the USD pairs, and then 25 comes from elsewhere. But I think you want to give yourself the option to trade other markets, because I think it would do you more good than harm. Yeah, true. Looking at the DXY, if it looks strong, then you're looking to buy euro. If it looks weak, you're looking to sell it, basically. And again, the DXY is a good kind of gauge to see what the USD pairs are doing and coming up with a bias as well. Same with the yen as well. So you're watching a fat setup play out in the pair you never trade, in your answer, and then trade that pair. That's silly. Yeah, Yeah, I mean, I was talking to that with I was talking about that with Trader Nick on the stream yesterday, um, about trading different markets because many people in the UK or Europe, I would say, we get involved trading forex because that's just like the most accessible market to trade in the most traded markets in Europe and the UK. Most popular ones to do it anyway is trading FX. You know, stocks is not really popular in the UK. Indices, yeah, but not compared to FX. FX is definitely number one by a clear distance. So a lot of people just trade FX by default because that's what you're introduced to, which is perfectly fine. But there's other markets out there to look at with like indices, for example, which have different type of opportunities to FX. And I've always just not looked to trade indices before. I never even used to look to trade gold and silver before as well. But I'm slowly starting to expand that watch list. Just because as a trader, you just want to take the best trade you can find. And sometimes it might be on Euro, sometimes it might be an Aussie CHF. Yeah, I would agree with that, Ben, as well. The cross pair is a bit mad, but the dollar pair is a bit more stable, bit flow better. I would agree. Again, most of my trades are on USD and yen pairs as well. I'll probably say 70% of my trades are USD and yen, and 30% are the other crosses. Maybe 35%. All right, nice one, Hoodie One. Have a good one, man. See you in 3 days again. Yeah, I know this time. UK time zone is very good for trading FX. That's true as well. Can catch London and New York. That's true. We do have that benefit in the UK too. Anyway, guys, we are coming up to the end of the stream. So I do hope you guys have enjoyed it. And if you have done so, if you have done, make sure you do drop a like, subscribe to the channel as well. It does really help out. Appreciate everyone who has done so far. And of course, make sure you do hit the bell so you don't miss out on any streams or uploads in the future. Again, Elevating Traders is launching this weekend, guys. So make sure you put that in your diary and you're looking out for it. If you're not in the Discord, make sure you get into the Discord. There'll be more information regarding that as well. So if you're looking for it, get involved. There'll be discount opportunities there. And of course, I'll be sharing updates about markets I'm looking at, other people too, and you can join in different discussions as well. So make sure you go check it out. Link at the top of the chat and in the description as well. So you definitely can't miss it. But appreciate everyone coming onto the stream today. Have a fantastic Friday, fantastic weekend as well. And yeah, guys, don't go blowing any accounts. Have a good one, and I'll catch you all new week.